I am Reina Scully, and my interview is with Cherry at Anime Expo.
Hey, this is Cherry. I'm at Anime Expo, and I'm talking to Reina. Hey, Reina, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm well, thank you.
So you're one of the influencers this year.
Yes, I am. It's very exciting.
Have you been to Anime Expo before?
Yes, I've actually gone like every year, but this is the first time I'm an Anime Expo guest, so it's like really, really different and exciting.
That is so exciting. Now, will you have a signing and a panel this week?
Yes, I will actually. My panel is tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., so it's a little on the early side, but I hope people show up because it's a joint panel with Crunchyroll, and we're unveiling Anime Academy Season 3, which is about animation in anime, so it's really exciting for me. And I also have a signing, I believe it is on Friday, so that's also really different too.
So how did you get your start in anime?
Ooh, let's see. It definitely was actually with Crunchyroll. I started as an anime translator, and that was always a dream of mine when I was younger. I used to fan sub a lot because knowing Japanese and seeing kind of the dubs that were in the 90s, I was like, that's not what they're saying at all, and it was really frustrating. And I was like, man, there's got to be like a reason why it's the way it is. And then by the time I kind of got stepped into the scene, it was a lot more advanced, and there were a lot of bilingual translators, and it was like the game was like really elevated, so it was very fun to enter in that kind of arena. And it's kind of been a really interesting road since then. Like the translating really opened up a lot of different industry doors, and then I happened to also be doing YouTube at the time, so there were a lot of like really fun things that perfectly intermingled at the time. So yeah, I guess translating's how it all started.
And what was the anime that made you fall in love with the creative endeavor that we call cartoons here in America?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I did grow up with a bunch of them. I will say the most influential is probably Detective Conan. It's case closed here, but Meitantei Conan is still my favorite. It's still going on, which is crazy. But that is very influential for me. Cardcaptor Sakura was influential for me. Saint Tail was a big one for me as well. And Pokemon also, I think, was huge. Yeah, those all really kind of got together in the 90s and like really made me love anime. So
My sister loved Pokemon. I used to always tease her and say, I don't understand why there are children wandering all around the world.
Isn't it
Why don't they
dangerous?
have any parents around?
Right, exactly. And then you notice that like in all anime, there's like no parents at all. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
For a long time, I was like, are they supposed to be many adults? And I was like, no, they're children.
They're all children and they're 10 and they're out in the wild with wild animals. So
Just living their best lives.
exactly. I love that.
Now, here at Anime Expo, we're here from Wednesday to Sunday. What is it that you want to see this year at Anime Expo that's on your must-see list?
Oh man, I definitely want to check out the Pony Canyon booth. I'm a Go Nagai fan. Just the art style in general. Not so much. I'm not like the biggest Mazinger fan necessarily, but just the genre and the time period really, really interests me, especially doing Anime Academy. So I'm really excited to see that. I also have a lot of Artist Alley friends, and since I've been going to Anime Expo since before doing any kind of influencer stuff, it's always kind of tradition to just do all those things again. So I kind of just want to play it cool this year.
Now, there's some animated series or anime series that have ended, and then there are some manga and other creatives that people fall in love with. If you had your withers, like your dream anime, would you rather have a ended series rebooted, or would you rather have a manga book series turned into an anime series?
Oh man, that is so interesting. Manga book series. Sometimes it's kind of disappointing when your book turns into a movie or when your manga turns into an anime. Actually, it happened a little bit with Wotakoi, which I've been following the manga for a long time, and I already kind of created their voices in my head. And it's also a little bit harder, like I just didn't want to watch it because I didn't want that to break in my mind. So I actually think maybe I would rather the former, where maybe it just goes on, continues as a manga, or maybe just doesn't get rebooted in a different medium, maybe. Maybe it just lives and dies as is, perhaps.
As is,
Yeah.
you're not one of those who want to rewatch a new interpretation of a beloved show.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has been so exciting. Like with Sailor Moon, it's been such a fun ride, and especially because it was so much closer to the manga. So I can't say that it goes across the board, but generally, I do like it to be left alone. Yeah.
I can't blame you for that. I love Black Butler, the animated series.
Yes,
I didn't like the movie as much as I thought it would, but then I thought, physically, as humans, you just can't do certain things.
Right. That makes so much sense. Yes, absolutely. That's so funny.
Now, I love Anime Expo. I'm a big anime fan. I love the culture. I have tried to learn Japanese watching anime, which I've said to Japanese people, and they look at me very pleasantly, and then they're like, that word does not mean what you think it does. Where did you learn this from? I was like, I'm learning it from anime. And they're like, it doesn't really correlate.
Yeah, it's really funny because actually I tell a lot of people anime is actually really helpful when you want to learn Japanese because the voice actors enunciate really well. So at the very least you're getting the correct pronunciation. Yeah, and at least like conversationally you're hearing it in a really natural state. And like I said, they're clear, so you're not going to like really mess up too many things. And Japanese is like syllabic. It's always consonant, vowel. So it's easy to follow in anime, or even if you're watching like a Japanese like variety show, you know, you can kind of understand it somewhat if you know the base language. But yeah, I must say, even as somebody that grew up with Japanese, man, that is hard. Like I could barely write a full sentence with like the right amount of kanji in it nowadays. It's just, you lose it after a while.
I mistook thank you for hello, because usually when you watch the anime, they kind of use them interchangeably.
And they use slang and they slur and they use like new words that don't really exist in like base dictionaries. Yeah.
Now that you're here this week for Anime Expo, is there anything that you want to buy at the convention?
Okay, so there is this thing that I've always wanted. I'm a big Umaru fan, and I've always wanted the Necolombus like body pillow. It's not a body pillow. It's literally just a big cat, right? And it's like the size of her body, and it's big, and it's like her like little safety blanket type of thing. I found one, I think 2 years ago, randomly in a booth, and I didn't get it because it was a little expensive, and I like just couldn't justify paying that much for it. But like, I really regret it. Like, I still think about it 2 years later. So yeah, I'm still looking for that.
So you're gonna look for it this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a big pillow, cat pillow.
Maybe one of your fans will send it to you.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. It's so big though, like it's literally like out of control, which is another reason why I was like, maybe I don't get it, but.
You deserve it.
I deserve it, thank you.
Now, thank you so much for talking with me.
Certainly.
And I want to ask if someone wants to follow you on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, how can they find you?
Oh, they can find me on youtube.com/Reina Scully and at Reina Scully across Twitter and Instagram.
Hopefully I will see you on the convention floor, and if so,
hopefully I'm holding the weird big cat, yes. Yeah.
maybe we can do like a tour of what we want.
That would be awesome, definitely. I love shopping at Anime Expo, it's so bad.
I love shopping.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty much anyway.
Right, same. This is just like a different type of paradise.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you this week.
Thank you, it was such a pleasure.